The Bears are building an offensive juggernaut. One thing is clear, this draft did not go like anyone expected. However, I did find plenty of reason to be excited for this year's draft class after the first 2 days. It's a weird year where right now it feels like the media likes our draft, but the fans really don't. Evaluating this draft after the first two rounds, and it's clear that Ben Johnson is taking control of this draft and he's trying to change the fortunes of this offense. As we head into a new era of Bears football, this isn't the same old defense focused teams that we've had in the past. We've always been a team that likes to run the ball and play defense. That has changed. Ben Johnson is in the process of building an offensive juggernaut around Caleb Williams. I'm going to quickly recap what our three picks bring to the table, but putting our first two picks into pass catchers, Colston, Loveland, and Luther Burden, it's clear this offense is going to look a lot different in 2025. First up at pick 39, we landed Missouri wideout Luther Burden, a do-it-all stud receiver who was a top 15 player on my big board. Another Ben Johnson pick to pair with Colston Loveland. He was a multi-sport athlete who can line up all over the field. He's twitched up, athletic, and he can flat out fly. He's a highlight reel in the making and has a nose for big plays and the end zone. He's built like a mix between a DJ Moore and a Debo Samuel, but he's faster than both of those guys, running a 4.41 40 and topping out at over 22 miles per hour on tape. When you pair Luther Burden with Colston Loveland, DJ Moore, and Romo Dunze, and all of a sudden you have four players who legit profile as potential number one targets in a passing offense. And that's without mentioning Cole Kmet, Olamide Zaccheaus, Devin Duvernay, Tyler Scott, and anyone else we pick tomorrow. This offense is really going to be fun to watch with Ben Johnson calling the plays. That much is clear after 2 days of the draft. But after taking Luther Burden at pick 39, the Bears would trade down, turning a second and a third round pick into 2 seconds and a fourth, adding that much needed fourth round pick. And it's something that I actually predicted pre-draft when I did a guest appearance for a DePaul radio station. I said I could see it at pick 41. The Bears need to move down. There's going to be a lot more interest in that pick than even trade interest we got in pick 10. And I think we could easily recoup a fourth round pick there. Not only did we add a fourth round pick, but we turned our third into a second. I love the trade down there. And then we added another offensive player, starting the draft out with three straight offensive guys. But we finally went into the trenches, grabbing Boston College offensive tackle Ozzie Trapilo, a big 6'8" mauler of a tackle prospect. He's better at right tackle, but he did start his entire freshman season on the left side before he moved to right tackle. He adds competition for the swing tackle spots, and he's going to get a ton of valuable reps in training camp. The Boston College tackle improves the depth on our O-line, and he made it three straight picks for the offense and Ben Johnson before we finally added a player in this draft. The final pick was Shamar Stewart, a versatile and violent defensive end. He was one of only a handful of defensive linemen in the entire nation who played 200 plus snaps at all four positions on the D line this season. He's powerful, athletic, and mean. He also added 30 plus pounds this year, bulking up from 260 to 290 and moving inside the defensive tackle after playing outside at edge the last 2 years. He did this because Nick Scoreton transferred there and they already had Shamar Stewart on the other side. But his sack production would fall off. After having 6 sacks in 2023, he only had 2 this season inside a defensive tackle. So he is a guy who can drop weight and move back to defensive end, or you can keep him at 285, 290 and play D tackle. But this very well could be our edge rusher. The overall vibe from this class is pretty clear, though. This is Ben Johnson's team now, and in this new era of Bears football, we're going to score a lot of points, and this team is going to be explosive on offense. Initially, I thought we were going to lean towards establishing the run and hitting those play action shots downfield, and we're definitely still going to mix that in. But the tones I'm getting from this draft is we are going to pass the ball and our offense is going to be built around explosive plays. Right now, Caleb Williams has so many weapons on this offense that there should be fireworks every Sunday. So, one thing is clear as day right now. After 2 days of the NFL draft, this Bears team got a lot more explosive on offense while also adding depth to the trenches. Those are both things that all fans wanted. But make no mistake about it, this was Ben Johnson putting his stamp on this roster. This is his football team now. And I trust him to get the most out of these playmakers on offense. Honestly, how can you stop an offense with DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Luther Burden, Colston Loveland, and Cole Kmet, especially with some more depth on the O line? And if we add another talented running back tomorrow, sounds like a recipe for a lot of points being scored in Chicago. I know a lot of fans didn't like this draft, and I think everyone so far has been surprised by these picks. The NFL draft is always a bit of a crapshoot. You have to realize that all of these guys are lottery tickets, and you never know exactly how they work in the NFL. I trust Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen more than I do random fans that haven't watched any tape or guys in the national media. So while some of these guys weren't players that I initially had the Bears targeting, most of them were very high on my big board, and they're all prospects that I'm very fond of. We got four new talented players on this roster, three for the offense and one for the defense. But right now, looking at this roster on paper, this offense has so many mismatches. Ben Johnson is going to move people around, and teams in the NFC should start to worry about the Chicago Bears offense. Ben Johnson is putting together a juggernaut. Stay tuned for day 3 of the NFL draft and more breakdowns coming soon. I appreciate everyone who watches. Special shout outs to anyone who stopped by the live stream as well today or who watched with me and Greg Gabriel earlier. Please remember to hit that like button for me. Stay tuned. And until next time, bear down.